Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic. Especially when you have less than 3 weeks before the Dallas Cowboys kick off against the Los Angeles Rams. Woo! Time is ticking, as they say. Oh, rabbit. My videos have been sparsed more than daily due to the fact that it's still just practices. There's not too much you can glean from these practices, other than hopefully our team can get healthy in time to play against the Rams. The offensive line is in flux right now with so many players off to the side with the resistance cords and rehab people. You got our defensive line beating up our tackles because they're not used to that kind of physicality. You have our DBs making plays. If you haven't seen it, there's a couple videos out here where Trayvon Diggs is picking off passes. You got him making a great play on the ball against 17, Cedric Wilson. There's some nice videos out there of our DBs making plays. You know, they're getting their heads turned around, they're locating the ball in the air, and they're either pass deflecting or picking it off. It's something that the last regime didn't seem to understand creates turnovers. A simple thing, like turning your head around. It is something. You have our wide receiving core pretty much starting to fill itself out. It looks like Cedric Wilson is definitely placing himself fourth on the depth chart. He's making plays every day, but his thing is health and consistency. He's been around, but he can never stay healthy long enough to make any noise. So now it's basically his job to lose, and I think this is the year that it clicks for him. We have Tristan Hill stepping up his game, knowing this is basically make or break for him because of how bad he was received his rookie year, and that coaching regime is now gone. So he knows it's all up in the air for him when you got Antoine Woods and Neville Gallimore also playing the same spots as you. And sometimes Tyrone Crawford coming in. We've also seen or heard that they've been, as they've been talking about switching up the defense, they've had DeMarcus Lawrence, Everson Griffin on the outsides at ends, and Aldon Smith actually inside at the nose. So they're definitely doing a bunch of looks. They're doing pre-disguised looks on the offense that they've never seen before. Basically, it's a lot to root for. As a whole, this whole new coaching regime seems to get it. They know what they're doing. They know they don't have a lot of time to do it, but they're getting in as much as they can. They're now stopping the music that usually plays during practice so they can simulate more of how to actually be against the Rams. Excuse me. So you're thinking this far out, they're already game planning too. So, that's something, that the last regime didn't seem to understand either. You had training camp, you had all the preseason games, right? You go through those, you narrow down the roster, and then week 1 comes out, and unless you're playing the Giants, we usually lay in a dud the first game of the dang on season. I don't know what it was. They seemed like they were underprepared against Carolina a couple seasons ago, 49ers a couple seasons ago, well, Romo era, and it's looking like every now and then we just come out and lay a dud the first game of the season. And it's like, didn't you prepare at all for the first game of the season? It's like all of training camp, all you worried about was yourselves. Like that last couple weeks leading up to your first game, you didn't even scout the other team at all. You know? And at least this one's starting to figure it out early that we don't have much time. So we're going to start simulating game situations along with still instituting our new offense and defense. So they get it. They understand. They're ahead of the curve right now. Let's see. Other camp news. I don't want to talk about the whole Earl Thomas thing. I'm sick of talking about that. That's just starting to get as monotonous as the damn Dak Prescott contract talks. Until they put pen to paper, yes or no definitively, or he goes somewhere else, I don't want to talk about no damn Earl Thomas. Because last time you used us for money purposes to get to Baltimore. Before that, it's like, I give it, granted, it was the Seahawks, and they wanted more than what Dallas was willing to give them. But I don't know if the conduct detrimental to the team is something he will bring with him to Dallas if he came. Because I'm not sure what's going on mentally with him. He's starting to have bad luck with teams on his way out for some reason. I don't know if he's just trying to push his way out without really telling anybody, and he's just showing it in a weird way, because I haven't heard word of exactly why he punched his teammate in the first place. I mean, I get it. There's skirmishes during practices and stuff. They're ready to hit other people, and sometimes teammates fight, but it's funny how you're the one who hits a teammate and the whole team just cuts you off of one fight. Like, it must have been an ass whooping or something, because we've had our skirmishes, but you don't see nobody getting cut because of it. Especially people who are less caliber than Earl Thomas. So, I don't know. It just seems funny that I think there's something else going on, and they just want it out, and this just gave them specific reason to get him out. As far as Dallas making moves for money-wise to look like they're doing to go get him, we've heard that. We've heard that the money being shifted on Tyron Smith is to sign Dak next year. I don't know what the truth is. Cowboys tend to move a lot of money, and we never really see what it goes towards until people start getting injured and you got to bring in players to replace players, stuff like that. So I'm not really sure what this move signifies with the money being moved. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it's just something for them to look forward to, and it's not really anything. Maybe it's to sign somebody. Who knows? Let's see. Last thing I'm going to talk about is Clinton Dix. We thought when we signed him that he was basically penciled in to be a starter, right? And it seems like the word coming out of camp is that Donovan Wilson and Darian Thompson are looking better in camp than he does. And he's starting to slowly get knocked down the totem pole in training camp. Now, that's not a good thing, because we've had this happen before with George Ialoka and some other corners out there in the secondary. We bring them in because of their veteran experience, thinking it'll be an upgrade over what we have, and they end up being cut before we get out of training camp. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not really feeling running with just 3 healthy safeties this year. I don't really want to run with 4, because 2 of them will probably be on special teams while the other 2 start. And that's why Jeff Heath got where he was, because he was a backup for the longest. He was on special teams mostly, and then when people in front of him started getting hurt, he had to be shoved into a starting role. And because we devalued the safety position, they never decided to upgrade over him. They just used him on starting defense and special teams. No one is wearing the man down. So who knows what's going on there? Is he really getting knocked down a peg? I don't know. I hate to see it because I think he could be good for us. He doesn't bring the kind of baggage Earl Thomas would. But, of course, everybody's going to say, well, Earl Thomas is an immediate upgrade over Clinton Dix, Xavier Woods, and everybody else. But if you do pick them up, what does that say about the safety position? Are they all going to get along? Because we've already heard how Woods felt when they were talking about Earl Thomas them couple years in the offseason, and he wasn't having that. So, I don't know. Who knows where that's going to go. But the camp talk, yeah, I'm not going to really worry myself about it daily. It's going to be basically all down to attrition. We're going to have to see who's going to get healthy and by when so they can get back to practicing. With less than 3 weeks to go, more than likely, somebody like Tyron Smith with hamstring tightness, Lael Collins, who's not in football shape, our two starters will be held out until maybe 2 weeks from now, or maybe a week and a half. Maybe they'll put them back into the practice and individual drills and stuff like that, not team drills, so they don't have too much wear and tear when it's starting to ramp up to that first game of the season. Sean Lee, same thing. They'll probably hold him off until the season so they can have him ready, prepared, not hurting something on the way into the season again. At least that's how I'd do it. I'd keep these guys, if they're already off to the side, let them stay off to the side for like another week and a half. Let these guys on the depth chart see if they got it. See what they can do, We're going to have to be making cut downs anyway, so you might as well see what they got. Let's see. That's pretty much it. I just like Mike McCarthy, his press conference a couple days ago where he said, you're here to win championships. Great. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear us aiming for a championship. We don't need to be sidetracked. We don't need to be distracted on anything else going on. This Earl Thomas mess is a distraction right now. It's not something that we need because you know how the safeties feel about somebody talking about their job again. Especially Woods. He's not going to want to hear this. So we'll just have to see it how it goes day by day. Like Mike McCarthy said, you'll have to talk to Will McClay about anything to do with Earl Thomas. They had a small discussion about it, but you didn't have that sense like they're going to go out there and pull the trigger on anything. So we'll just have to see. But that's all I got for today. I don't want to really get much into all the practice happenings and stuff. You can check out other Cowboys YouTubers, DallasCowboys.com, Blogging with the Boys, and their YouTube channels for the Dallas Cowboys, their Twitter handles, because it's just practice right now. I'm spreading myself thin, keeping up with all things Cowboys, because there's always something to dissect, and doing other things behind the scenes, and it's taking up too much time to keep coming up with notes for this kind of thing. But I do enjoy talking to y'all. I do enjoy making these videos. And when the season starts, it's definitely going to be a little more hype than our normal training camp day-to-day stuff. We'll finally get to hit other people when it counts. But that's all I got for today. I hope y'all have a happy Monday. This is probably the first Monday in about a month and a half that I felt better than just getting up and being alive. It's just been better today than most Mondays in the last month and a half. And it's a good thing. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a great Monday. Don't let it get you down. Stay safe out there. And how about them Cowboys? Be a Dallas Cowboy fan?